Hello, my dear friends. As we come to the close of this series, But God Moment, allow me take you to the book of Psalms, chapter number 73. And we want to look at a gentleman by the name ASAPH. Now, ASAPH is one of the contributing writers of the book of Psalms. And he wrote the book of Psalm from chapter number 73 to chapter number 83. And ASAPH was one of the musicians and is one of the inspired authors whose work is very beautiful in the book of Psalms. Now, Psalm is a collection of books written by different authors. ASAPH is one of them, David is one of them, Solomon is one of them, and etc. Now, ASAPH begins chapter 73 by saying that surely God is good to Israel, to those who are pure in heart. And verse 2 is where now he gets things not working for him. And he says in 73 verse 2 that, "But as for me, my feet had almost slipped. I had nearly lost my foothold. For I envied the arrogant when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. They have no struggles, their bodies are healthy and strong. They are free from common human burdens. They are not plagued by human ills. Therefore, pride is their necklace. They clothe themselves with violence. From their callous hearts comes iniquity. Their evil imaginations have no limits. They scoff and speak with malice, with arrogance. They threaten oppression. Their mouth lay claim to heaven, and their tongue takes possession of the earth." Now, this is ASAPH describing what the wicked do, their life. And so ASAPH sees how the wicked prosper. He sees their actions, how they behave, how they talk, how they are unjust, and there is nothing bad that happens to them. Now, in verse 14 of Psalm chapter 73, he says that all day long I have been afflicted, and every morning brings new punishments. Now, ASAPH was serving the Lord faithfully, but now when he looks at himself, he is suffering more than even those who are not serving the Lord. When he pictures the wicked are not even getting sick. Their body is strong. They have all they need. But for him, he is inflicted with pain and so on and so forth. Now, verse 15, he tells us that if I had spoken out like that, I would have betrayed your children. Now, verse 16 is where the turning point is. When I tried to understand all this, it troubled me deeply. Till I entered the sanctuary of God, then I understood their final destiny. Now, ASAPH tells us that he tried to understand why the wicked are prospering, in quotes. But now he could not understand it until he went to the sanctuary. And the sanctuary, when he entered the sanctuary, he studied the end time events and he saw what was going to happen to the wicked at the end, how God is going to judge them, how God is going to punish them. And so ASAPH had peace. And now, to reach the climax of this chapter is verse number 26. After all this, Psalm 73 verse 26, ASAPH tells us that my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever. Friends, ASAPH is getting an encouragement that despite prosperity of the wicked, despite his illnesses, despite his failures, he says that my flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my life and my portion forever. Friends, ASAPH knew that the end of everything is not this temporary life. Asaph saw life beyond this life. And so he was encouraged, and he says that his flesh and his heart may fail, but God is his strength and his portion forever. You and I, we may fail in one way or the other. Our flesh may fail us. Our heart may be deceitful. We may be deceived by our hearts. But friends, when you come back to God, God is your portion forever. Be encouraged that in all things you go through, the enemy is not the final say. The final say comes from God. Listen what God says last. Don't take the word of the enemy at last. God has the final say.